lost close to 100 pounds, working out, doing well. All of a sudden, the end of March, first part of April, I don't know, I got up out of my chair one day and my leg felt like it was asleep and just fell asleep or whatever, stumbling. Through the course of 4 or 5 different days, something happened, and next thing I know, I can't feel my legs hardly, or I was barely able to walk. Went to the doctor. Of course, they made me do the PT thing before they could do a MRI, and after one day of PT, I got home and the legs collapsed, fell out in the yard. They did the MRI, and then within 3 weeks later, basically, it was getting scheduled for surgery. So
Yeah.
during that
I've
time,
seen the pictures of the hardware in your back.
yeah, I got the old 8-inch rod, 14 screws, spacers between each vertebrae from basically my S1 to my L5. It's taken a lot. I've just now got to where I can pretty much start walking around. Still don't have the balance that I should have, but I'm
Yeah.
able to walk around without the walker now. At least I was on a walker and a cane, walker for about 6 to 8 months, and then a cane after that for a couple of months.
Yeah. No, that's rough. But yeah, I mean, one of the things that I've known and come to respect about you is that even through that, when you could go to the gym, you're going to the gym, and now you're still coming back, you're still doing it, but you're there and you're doing the reps. How do you stay committed to that when Jesus, sometimes it's going to be hard to get out of bed, man.
I guess it's one of those things. The old saying, if nothing changes, nothing changes, and you got to become a standard, not a motivation.
Yeah.
Motivation kind of starts it. Discipline finishes it. So when you set it as a standard, it's basically like, do you get up and brush your teeth in the morning?
Right.
So, I mean, it's one of those things. It's just do it. You get up, you set it as a standard. That's what's going to do that day. So whether it be that morning, afternoon, whatever, you're going to get the workout in that day. So you go ahead and schedule it, do it, and it just becomes a habit.
Yeah. No, it's cool. And, one of the things that I noted about you is that many people that work in, public service, or whether they're, firemen or police officer or sheriff, they retire and then they start a business, right? And you already had yours going, right? So, I mean, it was something you were doing in addition to what you were doing. So you were in what, year 16 or 20 with that when you retired, weren't you?
Oh yeah, I actually started out as grass cutting back in 1998. So a year after I'd started the sheriff's office, or a year and a half, I guess, I was out of the sheriff's office. I'd started the actual lawn business.
You couldn't raise 5 kids on a sheriff's salary?
Yeah, Paul Harvey, I don't know if you ever heard the story Paul Harvey does. It talks about a law enforcement, what it is. Not only is he a marriage counselor, it names off about 40 different things, but he's also a magician. Because if you can raise a family of 5, a family of 5 kids and a wife on a law enforcement salary, you're an absolute magician.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
yeah,
it's one of those things. You always find some kind of side job and side hustle. And I had the younger brother David, which younger now, he's in his 40s, but back then, he was high school, middle school, high school, and give him something to do. So we started doing the lawn business, cutting grass. And one thing evolved to another, to where we got into the pond business. So.
Yeah.
After a while, he started taking over it, and I was able to do things and just run the business from there. But like I said, it got to the point where we had the employees, had the structure, but I wasn't able to do the things I wanted to do with the business, being cooped up in the office all day at school as a school resource officer.
Right.